And welcome to Couch Reacts. This is the second episode we're doing of this. We've got four people in here. We've got me, this is Luke. We've got Ryan, we've got Caleb, and we've got Robers. So we've got Caleb and Robers who are facing off against each other in our Couch League Championship right now, and
It's not going so hot.
it's pretty much over, right?
Yeah.
All right,
I,
and
I saw my fate
Yeah,
before it started.
I mean, it could happen.
yeah, but
I need to go from
Robers,
a
you are
negative 0.16 points to, what, 50?
it could happen.
Ah,
But Robers, you are our executive Vikings fan, and the Vikings are 8-8 on the season right now. They could finish with a winning record. You must be ecstatic.
that surprises me a lot, to be honest. But I'm happy about it. We might be proving a lot of the doubters wrong because they expected us to go like what, 6 or 4 games, like win games. So.
So, we'll just get right into it with the Christmas Day games. So Commanders Cowboys was more exciting than I expected it to be. I mean, ended within one score, and this is with I think Josh Johnson was playing QB. Mariota didn't play in that one. But the one that I wanted to get Rober's opinion on was the Lions 10, Vikings 23 game with Max Brosmer throwing for, 50-something yards?
I thought it was less than that.
His net was low. I know that much.
He threw for 51 yards.
51 yards, and the net passing was like 10 or so. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking about, the net passing.
Yeah, which I think net passing is honestly stupid as a stat. But, I mean, it was it was just defensive domination for the Vikings from what I could see.
It was.
They completely held Jameer Gibbs in check, which cost me a fantasy championship. But, for the most part, like, Lions couldn't do anything, and Vikings were kind of having their way with them. So Rovers, what was your take on that? Are you walking away from that one encouraged, discouraged? I mean, what are your thoughts? Because obviously you're looking at next year now. You're off on this year now.
The thing is, it's a positive result, like from the game. Obviously, they won and they were completely dominating. However, I think they were without a lot of their defensive players. I'm actually surprised the Lions' defensive line didn't actually wreck the game a lot more than it did to make the game a lot closer. But I guess Goff was just really having a bad day because I think he threw for like 4 interceptions.
We could check.
So
2 interceptions, 197 yards, 1 touchdown.
okay,
Yeah, Browsmer was 9 for 16 for 51 yards. Jordan Addison was the rushing leader for the Vikings. 1 carry for 65 yards and a touchdown.
he was a dude.
Yeah, I mean that's when your QB play is adequate, then you got to get creative. Oh yeah, we're recording this. The third quarter just started for the Falcons on Monday Night Football, and they are currently upsetting the Rams 21-0. So
Which is sad.
that's
So
something.
like the defense gives me hope for the future. However, it also makes me sad because I think Brian Flores might leave this upcoming year, and that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and then, Caleb, Ryan, you guys got anything about this specific game you wanted to talk about?
I mean, this is exactly what I said last week, right? It's that the Lions' secret to success. Everybody thought it was Dan Campbell. Everybody thought it was the chicken. Everybody thought it was the chicken noodle. It's not the chicken noodle. All right, he's a little more chicken than noodle, if you get what I'm saying. No, it's Ben Johnson, man. Ben Johnson, his record, Dan Campbell's record with and without Ben Johnson is very telling. So I'm just saying.
Maybe. I'm still not sold on this whole thing, but maybe.
I mean, the way he's turned the Bears around, I think you do have a point, Caleb.
He turned 2 franchises around, and then he's going to go to the Packers and turn them around too.
All right. Maybe. We'll see. I think the Lions got dealt a dirty hand when it comes to defensive injuries this season. So.
I mean, they play dirty.
they did. I like to think that they're getting better at that, but all right, Pufferfish, you got anything?
Nope. I got nothing to add to that.
All right. So Broncos Chiefs, I kind of want to just skip over because I got nothing on that one. I mean, Chiefs are down at their third string quarterback. I didn't see much to say. If you guys got anything you want to throw in on that, honestly, this is pretty open. Like any game you guys want to talk about, we can jump to. I was gonna shout out the Texans defense. I mean, they're legit. Like
They're studs.
yeah, they make CJ Stroud's job very easy.
Especially since the offensive line for the Texans is really not that good.
Yeah, for sure. But then Saturday night, the Ravens-Packers game. I'm sure Caleb's going to want to dive into this one a little bit. But Ravens-Packers, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Malik Willis will be competing for a starting job next year. Obviously won't be with Green Bay. I don't know who it's going to be with. I actually thought maybe Pittsburgh if Rodgers does in fact retire. But Malik Willis and Tyler Huntley both looked really good in this game. Huntley, I think, could be a starter somewhere, but he's got to be in the right situation, I think, because obviously he was on Miami last season when Tua went down again and didn't really go super well for him. So I think he's just got to be in the right situation, but he looked really good too. But obviously the story of this game was Derrick Henry, right? 216 yards, 4 touchdowns. Carried the ball 36 times after people were calling for John Harbaugh's head after not using him enough in the last game. So, I mean, what jumped out to you guys on this one?
Well, first of all, the people calling for John Harbaugh's head, those were just a bunch of Henry owners. That's all that was. So that was just white noise. You didn't really worry about that. I mean, it's Henry in December. This is how it is every year. You know, the Yeti wakes up and comes out of his cave and rumbles for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns. Only when he's playing Luke in fantasy, though.
That is true. Yep, I went up against Derrick Henry and Bo Nix and RJ Harvey. And even Amon-Ra St. Brown, which some people were disappointed in him, but I mean, in PPR, he did fine. And meanwhile, I played Jahmyr Gibbs, so I knew my championship was over Saturday night.
So I have comments on both sides of the game, but I'll let you finish. My fault.
No, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
On the Ravens side, my question is, what is going on with Lamar this year? This is the first year I think he's had as many games out as he's had, which is interesting. I think it maybe because I drafted him in fantasy, but for the Packers, is Christian Watson a stud, dude?
He's looking good. I mean, he gets injured a lot. He got injured 2 games ago against the Broncos, but he didn't miss any time from it. So if he can be reliable in that sense, then I mean, I don't know, second coming for him. I mean, second chance for him, but also with like Malik Willis threw for 288 yards, and he rushed for 2 touchdowns on top of this.
Right.
Malik Willis, I know we've talked earlier in the season. We talked about quarterbacks that didn't pan out for the team that drafted them, went to somewhere that kind of has a little bit better coaching and has turned their career around. I think Malik Willis is definitely going to be a contender for that next year. I'm really curious to see what he does. I mean, he was the rushing leader for the Packers, but that's also because the Packers shut down Josh Jacobs to the dismay of many, including Caleb.
Well, I didn't start him, but if I had started Josh Jacobs in fantasy, I'd be so upset. Because here's the thing. He played 28% of snaps. He had 4 carries for 3 yards. Why is he even active if you're trying to save him for the playoffs, which is what they were trying to do? They're just trying to screw people. That's all they're doing.
Yeah. I will say it was great to see the Ravens after Henry's 4th touchdown. Ravens sideline was wearing one of those cheese grater hats. Huntley had it on, and then they handed it off to Derrick Henry. It's nice to see that DJ Moore's a trendsetter because he didn't do much against the Niners, so at least he can hang his hat on that. But yeah, I mean, so obviously this game gave the Bears the NFC North Championship, which is good because Bears lost the Niners, and things are looking a little tight right now. But Yeah, Malik Willis did really well. Tyler Huntley did really well, and I think that people can finally shut up about the Bears losing to the Tyler Huntley-led Ravens because he's a good quarterback. he can definitely sling it with the best of them right now. Well, also he can also hand it off to Derrick Henry 36 times, which helps immensely. But
For sure.
Buccaneers Dolphins. Real quick, just want to talk about Quinn Ewers a little bit on this one. 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Got them a win against the Buccaneers. So now, next week, it's going to come down to Buccaneers and Panthers for the NFC South. What's going on with the Buccaneers, for one?
100%. That's my question, too.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 346 yards. Still throwing for crazy yardage. But Bucky Irving, 9 carries, 19 yards. I don't understand what's going on with this. I didn't get to watch a ton of this game, so I honestly can't say. But
For the Bucs, I feel like their receivers are just missing. Or like they'll like interchange between all of their receivers and not actually use all of them.
yeah, everyone's back from injury now, so well, like, yeah, pretty much like the Buccaneers, most of their major injuries are no longer a factor, and it just seems like they don't have the momentum that they had earlier this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly feel like next week's going to be a coin flip between them and Carolina. I think either one of those teams could end up representing the South, and I don't know who to pick right now in that one. I mean, Ryan and I will probably have to preview that one later, and I'll have to have a harder stance on who I'm going to take, but for now,
I kind of feel like the Panthers might be the one that take it. I feel like they're on a streak and on a run right now.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on which version of Bryce Young wakes up.
That's true.
I mean, him and Sam Darnold, I'll say it in my super flex. Those are my 2 QBs, and man, it's a rough experience with those two. Because you never know when they're gonna be good. And then Achane did what he does. I mean, the Dolphins lean on him pretty heavily to get this one. And, I mean, I think, honestly, things are looking good for the Dolphins right now. I almost think Mike McDaniel might keep his job.
Yeah, I think the Buccaneers are the second biggest collapse this year behind the Colts. Colts started the season 7-1, and they're missing the playoffs. But Buccaneers are the second biggest collapse. No, they had a lot of injuries, right? But even with the injuries, like, they're losing to teams that are on paper much inferior to them. So, yeah, it's been interesting. I think I'm going to take the Panthers in that game, by the way. Bucs Panthers, I think I'm going to take the Panthers.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to lean that way, but I don't know right now. I'll have to make a decision later. Okay. Steelers Browns. Myles Garrett did not get the sack record. Much to the chagrin of every single person in Cleveland, because I think that, truthfully, I think most Cleveland fans are at this point just rooting for him to get the sack. I don't even think they care that they won. I think they would rather lose and he get the record. Colts couldn't get it done against the Jags. Phillip Rivers, honestly, valiant effort, but Colts are officially eliminated. Quite an unfortunate collapse for them. But...
Well, for them, I think a lot of their collapse was because they lost their quarterback. That was on a tear.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. They did have. I've said it earlier in the season. I did feel like they kind of had a relatively easy schedule starting in, and I think they rode some of that momentum. They were able to sneak away a couple wins that I didn't really see them winning. But yeah, I mean, they should be in the playoffs. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't be in the playoffs other than, the injuries that happened. So, and
Right.
Sauce Gardner's been out too. 2 first-round picks right there. I'm gonna give Ryan an open mic right now because we're gonna talk Saints Titans a little bit because I know that he's been itching to get up on his soapbox about this one.
What do you mean up on my soapbox? All I'm gonna do is spit facts. These aren't opinions.
They beat the Titans, Ryan.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the Titans, Luke. They beat other teams in the past couple weeks, including the Jets, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, who we were just talking about, and they're on a 4-game win streak at the end of the season. So these Saints, led by rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck, turn into something.
They turn into a team that had a better draft pick until they had a 4-game winning streak.
Honestly, there's a couple good storylines about this game. Now it is the Titans, so I'm not gonna be super impressed with everything, but I will say Shuck looks good. Estime, running back, number 3? 14 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. That'll do for him. And then Chris Olave. Ryan was saying he was asking, will Olave be a first-round fantasy pick next year? What's your guys' opinion on that?
Chris Olave, number 6 in the year, so for 4-point PPR.
I think it depends if he stays on the Saints, but I think he'll be start of the second round. I don't think he'll end as a first rounder. There's too many high profile wide receivers who are going to go before him, I think.
You think he'll be Brian Thomas Jr. next year?
Kind of, yeah, actually. That's who I was going to comp it to.
Brian Thomas Jr. didn't do good this year, though, so hopefully he does not trend that way.
That is true. No, I think,
agree
so would you rather draft Chris Olave or George Pickens next year?
Olave.
Olave.
Okay. Would you rather draft Chris Olave or Drake London next year?
London,
yeah.
Okay. How about Rashee Rice or Chris Olave?
Ooh.
Olave.
Probably
Rashee
Olave.
Rice.
Is Mahomes going to be back by the start of the season?
They said he should be back. Well, they said he should be back within the first 6 weeks, is what I read. Okay. So
I think Rashee Rice had kind of like a thing against him where he kind of came in after his suspension, and so it's like it's going to take a while for them to actually, even though he's been on the team for a while, it takes a while for him to get incorporated back into it. But if he starts like from the beginning of the year, I think he'll, things will be more fine-tuned.
Yeah, I will say Rashee Rice was actually a really good pick where he went in drafts because obviously he missed the first 6 weeks of the season. But when he came back for those first, I think it was 6 weeks that he was back. The last 2 weeks he kind of fell off without Mahomes, but those first 6 weeks, I believe he was the number 2 points per game wide receiver in PPR.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I could see Olave being a high second round pick, but I do not think it will sneak into the first round pick. There's too many high profile names as wide receiver. So.
Yeah. And then real quick, I want to shout out DK right here, the rookie receiver, because with the Titans, he is super under the radar. If you guys remember, obviously it was Calvin Ridley, wide receiver 1 this year, and then it was Aomeyer, however you pronounce his name, who's another rookie. But DK he's had a quietly good last couple of weeks, and he was drafted in the 4th round. So maybe something to monitor as Cam Ward grows, because Cam Ward didn't have a bad game. Okay. Seahawks-Panthers was frustrating for me just because Sam Darnold did not have a good fantasy performance, and the Seahawks still won, which has been the story of many of these games. The Seahawks are winning in spite of Sam Darnold doing just enough.
So
I think
Seahawks,
that's
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's been more of like a second half of the season, because the first half of the season, he's been on why did the Vikings let him walk?
Right, that's true, yeah.
So now people are kind of starting to see.
Why did they let him walk, Robers?
I think he wanted, well, I don't know, man. They wanted to actually build a team and not pay a quarterback, because you can't really build a team and pay a quarterback.
Yeah.
But they built a team with a lot of older people that got injured quite a bit. And it's like, all right, man, what are we doing?
Yeah.
See, Rovers, that's where I disagree with you because the Bengals build the team just like we all do when we're building a team in Madden. You know, we spend all of our money on 2 wide receivers and a quarterback. Who cares about the rest of the positions?
Actually, good segue, because Cardinals Bengals. The only thing I really want to shout out is Michael Wilson is better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Honestly,
I will fight
facts.
anyone on this.
It's a
facts.
bold call.
Dude,
It's facts.
he outpaces him in efficiency, yards, touchdowns. Like, what more does he need to do to prove that he's a great receiver? And I think he should. I think he's up for an extension, so he's gonna get a bag probably.
So here's the question: was dang, what's that quarterback's name? What's his
Jacoby
name?
Brissett,
Nah, the
Kyler Murray.
yeah, Kyler Murray was
Kyler Murray might have been a problem.
Was he a problem, or was just Mike?
I mean, yeah, because
Marvin Harrison not really that great.
Nah, because I think there's elements of both. Because Michael Wilson was not fantasy relevant until Jacoby Brissett, and I mean, realistically, he wasn't really getting targets until Marvin Harrison had his appendicitis. But
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Marvin Harrison also had the best game of his career with Jacoby Brissett this season. So I think Kyler was a hindrance, but then at the same time, I just think Michael Wilson's a better player right now. I think Marvin Harrison will end up being a better player, but right now I think Michael Wilson, it's the extra, year or two that he's got on Marvin Harrison in the league, but he's just looking better. And him and Trey McBride are a safety net for Jacoby Brissett right now, and it's great for fantasy.
Yeah, didn't Kyler Murray get benched right around the time that the new Call of Duty came out?
Yeah, that is what happened. It's no coincidence.
I think it's weird though. Like I would think for obviously with a dad of Marvin Harrison Jr.'s caliber or whatnot, you would think in year 2, regardless of the quarterback, he would still make a leap. And yeah, he had a good game with Jacoby Brissett, but he's not really that. He hasn't really shined as much as he should or could be.
Yeah.
So I kind of worry about his future overall.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to assume Kyler Murray will not be a Cardinal next year, and I'm going to assume the Cardinals are going to probably draft somebody. But that being said, should Jacoby Brissett be the starter week 1 right now?
I mean, he's on the roster, so probably, right?
I don't know what his contract looks like, but I mean, the way he's been
It's
playing,
it's a white piece of paper with black letters.
yeah.
Murray is still under contract for 2 more years.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, but he's gone. I don't see how they can bring him back at this point.
So back
Too
in
much
the
bad
day,
blood.
you know what Kyler Murray kind of reminds me of? You remember when Johnny Manziel went on that interview and said, "I never studied once for the games," and it's like, yeah, we could all tell. He was like bragging about it. He's like, "I never studied once." Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's some questionable things about Kyler Murray's work ethic right now, but we'll see. I mean, he does have talent. I mean, he's shown that the first couple of years of his career. It's just with the Cardinals' current situation, all the bad blood that there is between the two right now, between Murray and the organization, I don't see how they're going to bring him back. I don't know where he's going to be playing football next year, to be honest.
He might go to the KOC backup quarterback school.
Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, I just need somebody to give 9 some competition so he can actually do well for us. Because I can't.
Doesn't always work, Rover. Sometimes that discourages them.
Maybe. Well, at least we'll have the backup quarterback to do better for us. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
He won't be able to see over the old lineman, but he'll probably play better.
He just got to run it, and then after that, just check it down to the field. Justin Jefferson somewhere down there.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for Darnold.
I will say, back to the Bengals Cardinals game. The game's kind of cracked me up because the Bengals have just been blowing teams out now that they're out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because they're like, a bunch of people drafted us in fantasy. We should do well, Like Chase Brown get 2 touchdowns. Chase get 2 touchdowns. Like, there's no other reason to be playing like this.
That's
Although
true.
it was crazy. Chase got 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown got like 30 points or 28 points in PPR. And then they all sat the fourth quarter, all of them. It's like, where was this at the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
You're onto something.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals are known for perpetually being slow starters, which is why they are terrifying to pick in any survivor pools to start the year. Okay, I'm going to skip Giants Raiders. I'm going to go straight to Eagles Bills. Defensive battle for sure. I mean, it was pouring rain, but
I'm surprised that Josh Allen didn't score, 40 points again, because when it rains, he usually does better.
yeah, I mean, Allen had 262 yards passing, no touchdowns. He did rush for 2 touchdowns. I'm pretty. Let me just bring up the stats. Yeah, 2 rushing touchdowns. James Cook didn't hit 100 yards. He had 74 on the ground. Brandon Cooks was the #1 receiver. 4 receptions for 101 yards. Old timer can still get it done.
Revival game.
I mean,
Revival or
Brandon Cooks,
farewell?
Do you think he'll get Hall of Fame? Because he's done well on multiple teams, but he hasn't really like.
I'd have to look at his career stats before I.
Maybe not first ballot, but maybe.
Yeah, because this is his what, 5th, 6th, 7th team? He's still performing.
He had
so
two different stints on the Saints.
Right, he was with the Cowboys.
He was with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rams, I think, right?
I think so. Was he with the Cardinals also?
Yeah, he was. I don't think he was on the Cardinals. He was on the Texans.
That's what it was.
I mean, there are a couple storylines to this game. Number one, I don't think Jalen Hurts had a passing yard in the second half. Concerning?
Yeah, that's a pretty on par for the course this year.
Yeah, that's on brand.
They've had quite a few games like that. So
yeah, Saquon Barkley continues to underwhelm this season, which I mean, I think we all knew there was going to be some regression, but what is going on with that? What's going on with the Eagles' offense in total? I mean, A.J. Brown's finally the leading receiver. It's what he always wanted, right?
Yeah,
good thing. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not going to talk about A.J. Brown, so you go ahead.
No, I don't really want to talk about him either. I was just saying that, good thing that he started now being the leading receiver, because fantasy playoffs this week, fantasy's over. So I'm glad that everyone got to utilize A.J. Brown in their active lineup for fantasy. Sarcastically.
Yeah. And then Jalen Hurts having 3 carries for 5 yards. That's got to be like his lowest rushing total of his career.
Nah, see, they're saving Hurts for the playoffs, man. Like, I actually think the Eagles are gonna be a sleeper going into the playoffs, because I think that they're 11-5 right now, and they're locked into the 3 seed at this point, or 2 seed if they win next week. I think that they're just kind of messing around until the playoffs, and they're going to turn on in the playoffs. I think Hurts is going to run a ton in the playoffs. Defense will be the same as it was, but I actually think that they're going to be a tough match for whoever plays them, which, fingers crossed, is Green Bay and not the Rams. So,
I do think, yeah, they just have so much depth and just draft well, develop well for them to not show anything, especially once they come to the playoffs. Sorry for whoever I cut off. My fault.
It's fine. It was Caleb. We don't care about him. I mean, the big storyline with this game was how it ended. Bills, 10-24. Game's getting closer.
Yeah, be scared, Caleb.
That's your old QB taking down the 3 seed right now, or no, they can't win their division. Their 5th is the best they can finish right now. Still, Robert, that's Kirk Cousins right there.
I'm telling you.
Bijan Robinson had a 93-yard touchdown earlier. But But no, so the way the Eagles-Bills ended, Bills could have kicked a PAT to tie it up, and instead, well, they missed a PAT earlier in the game, but they could have kicked a PAT at the end to tie it up, and instead they opted to go for 2. Allen missed an open Shakir. And I mean, I said this on Twitter, but in that situation, I am really not a fan of going for 2 there. Like I said earlier, Jalen Hurts didn't have a passing yard in the second half. Like, your defense tightened up right when they needed to. I don't really understand going for the win there. Especially when 2-point conversions this year are under 50% complete conversion rate. So.
Yeah, it's a questionable call for sure. I think it's kind of funny because, I don't know, I think Sean McDermott is kind of sending a message to his team unintentionally, and the message is, I don't trust any of you except for Josh Allen. So,
yeah, well, you best start believing in James Cook, or I'm gonna get really mad. Fantasy season is over, but I can still be upset about this.
James Cook, you mean that guy who gets the ball to the 2-yard line for Allen to run it on?
That's right. Every freaking game. But no, so yeah, Josh Allen. I mean, it was just a miss on him. Like, simple as that. Still a great player, but we're gonna segue into Sunday Night Football, which is what Caleb is here for. I'm sure. It's the only reason he agreed to come on.
That's right. There are other teams other than the Bears.
But what's funny, the first thing I want to go to is I want to go to the last play of the game, because I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm seeing it all over on YouTube, on Twitter, all over the place. These these self-proclaimed film experts trying to look at that last play and be like, oh yeah, Caleb, he had an open receiver. He just missed. And like, DJ Moore, for instance, is on the far right corner of the end zone. Obviously, Williams scrambled to the left sideline, and people are like, well, DJ Moore was wide open. I'm like, yeah, you're a film expert? He was gonna throw it 45 yards across his body, across the field. To
be fair, were their Twitter handles Troy Aikman for life and King Troy Aikman?
It was at the real Troy Aikman. But no, it was literally like, it's only like and I'm gonna clarify this. Real film experts, like the people that, you know, like that I've actually been watching for a while, and you know, they're like former QBs in the league and whatnot. They look at the final play and they say what everyone's saying. They're like, I don't really know what the Bears were going for. I don't know what the scheme was, and I don't really know who the first read was, because the whole play got blown up incredibly fast. But it's just these people on YouTube comment sections and Twitter that are trying to say, oh, DeAndre Swift was open. I'm like, yeah, of course he was open. He was in the backfield. Believe it or not, receivers are always open for a screen pass. Yeah, if you want to throw it 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage with a safety bearing down on him, plus the free rusher, he did hesitate for a second because he was looking to bat down any screen. You can go back and you can watch it. You watch the free rusher. So no, you could have dumped it off to DeAndre Swift there. You could have. I don't think any logical QB in the league is going to throw it short of the end zone on that type of play. But yeah, he could have dumped it off to Swift. I don't think Swift gets in. He would be dealing with a safety, potentially the free rusher, plus they had 2 corners on that side, and there was only 1 receiver on that side. So one of those corners is going to get unblocked. So no, I don't think he's getting in. The truth is, people don't want to accept this because everyone just wants to they want to lay blame at Caleb Williams' feet. But the truth is, that play was doomed from the start. The Niners only rushed 2. They had a spy on Caleb Williams, and they dropped 8 into coverage, and they still got immediate pressure. It was Ozzie Trapillo, rookie tackle. He's been solid this year, but I mean, he blew it on that play. He blew his block assignment and let a free rusher come right in. And also, there were some issues with communication. Ben Johnson said he didn't get the play out in time. Caleb Williams said they didn't get to the line in time. It was doomed from the start. Honestly, in that situation, the clock wasn't running, so I don't think there would have been a runoff. I would have just taken a delay game, given how broken everything was at the line of scrimmage. But Oh, looks like we lost Rovers. What a shame. But
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. That game had a lot of implications, right? With the number one seed in the balance and everything else. But I mean, in reality, like, obviously, I wish the Bears would have been able to pull it out. But I was actually pretty proud of how they played. Not the defense. The defense played like trash. But I did think the offense, like, I mean, they answered over and over again. Really, I'm not used to a Bears team with this kind of offense. Like this, Caleb Williams is getting better every week, honestly. And he played really well last night. Even that last throw, yeah, he had pressure in his face immediately because the tackle missed his assignment, and he had pressure right away. Danced around, jumped out of a sack, and then he still almost got the pass to the receiver. And with 8 in coverage, that's pretty impressive, man. So
and you know what's hilarious about that right there is, once again, I've been reading a lot of stuff on Twitter. Probably shouldn't be, because it's a lot of just bogus. It's a lot of people that never liked Caleb Williams because of X, Y, and Z, so they are just gonna do whatever they can to whatever. But there are people that are like, yeah, he just didn't put enough under it. Just another missed opportunity. I'm like, he was getting flatlined when he released the ball. Like, he literally held on to the ball as long as he possibly could, hoping someone would get open. And at the point of release, he's getting thrown on his back.
So, question: what did all these online trolls think of the game last week? Like, were they another missed opportunity when he hit DJ Moore in the hands for a touchdown to win the game?
They were very quiet last week. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
But no, this week, I mean, the Bears lost, and that's why you get a lot of stuff this week. And to be fair, I would say 85% of people online right now are saying, Caleb Williams had an unbelievable game, and Bears defense just, played like trash, and that's why the Bears lost this game. Which is the truth. That's what happened. Like, you can't blame the Bears offense. Some people are saying, oh, well, the Bears offense went 3 and out their first 2 drives. Who cares what happened in the first quarter? The Bears defense got a pick 6 in the first quarter. Guess what? That was their only good play all night.
Yeah, I was actually really encouraged with the game. Not the defense. Again, defensively, the thing is we can't live off of turnovers all the time. And that's kind of what it is, because it's either we get 3 turnovers or we allow 40 points. And that's just how it is right now, which is kind of rough.
Yeah. Well, what was really tough about the defense was how many times is Brock Purdy going to gash you with a slant route or a crosser route before you realize that you need to get out of man coverage, because your corners are not good in man coverage right now. Like, it was ridiculous. How many times can you run the same type of crosser route and get beat on it before Dennis Allen needs to figure out that they need to change up what they're doing? They were in man coverage probably. I don't actually know, but from watching the game, I would say they stuck to man at least 60% of snaps.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, but no, you know what I was really encouraged about though? The Bears actually started fast and they played really well on offense the first half, which is something they really have struggled with this year. So I was really encouraged with that. I was encouraged with how many points we put up. I will say it was kind of a questionable call to go for a field goal at the end, like, because I get it. You're going up and you've got 5 minutes left. I get that aspect of it, but your defense has not been able to stop them at all. And Kyle Shanahan even said, "Yeah, we scored a little too fast on that." So, like, I don't know. In that kind of game, I'm not sure if I'd go for a field goal there. I know it puts you up, but man, when your defense has not been able to hold them to anything, that's kind of a risky decision,
Yeah. Yep. No, honestly, so both defenses were terrible last night, and that's why it made for a really entertaining game for non-Niners and Bears fans. A lot of people were very, very proud of. They were very excited about this game because a lot of points scored, no defense. But it's funny because the Bears had one good play on defense, and the Niners had one good play on defense. And it just happened to be the Bears, the first play of the game was their good play on defense, and the Niners, the last play of the game was their good play on defense. And, I mean, the Niners' last play was good mostly because of the blown 2-man rush. But, I mean, they covered literally everybody. Like, I mean, the Bears fell apart there at the end. Like I said, the play call I guess there was miscommunications on the play call. They were running out of time. Honestly, what I really think happened there at the end was I think that Ben Johnson was so sure that they were going to score on the hook and ladder play, which actually the Niners played that really well too. They went for the hook and ladder, and they had a DB right there for him. So I think that Ben Johnson was honestly so sure that they were going to score on that I think that he didn't really have another play scripted up. Which is weird because I would never describe Ben Johnson as unprepared, but it really seemed like, because they spiked the ball and they had another 40 seconds and they still didn't get their play call out in time, which is shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was surprised the hook and ladder from the angle that it showed on TV. I thought they were going to score on the hook and ladder, but I mean, it is what it is. And then I'm going to say a couple more things about the Bears, and then I do want to get over the Niners. I do want to give the Niners their flowers, but with the Bears, with how things shaped up, they had 8 players that were on the injury report with illnesses. DJ Moore was one of them. Honestly, DJ Moore probably shouldn't have played, but I don't think he wanted to sacrifice a game check for an illness. But Luther Burden looked really good. I'm hoping he's really good after the catch. That's the thing. The Bears don't have another receiver like him when it comes to yards after the catch. He is really shifty once he gets the ball in his hands, which is great because that's exactly what they need. And then I just think that next week when you're playing the Lions, I know that we all have kind of an opinion. We don't really want the Bears to play Green Bay in the wild card. But
nope,
they probably are the best matchup. But it is weird. It's every time the Bears play the Packers this year, the Packers sprinkle some bad juju on them, and it makes it to where the Bears can't score in the first half at all. They get off to a horrible start against the Packers this year. So I don't know what you do next week. Honestly, what I would do next week if I was in charge of the Bears is I'd play the starters, obviously, but anyone that is slightly questionable, I'm not playing. I'm not playing Rome Odunze next week. Luther Burden, he ended the game getting carted off and then afterwards said that he was just tired or something. I don't know what's up with that. But I think he actually is hurt and he's just not saying anything because they said he went to the x-ray room. So I probably wouldn't play Luther Burden next week.
Maybe he went to the x-ray room to take a nap.
Yeah.
They got nice beds there.
Yeah, but I'm not playing anyone that is slightly questionable next week because at this point, the 2 seed would be nice, right? The 2 seed guarantees that you're going to get 2 home games in a row in the playoffs if you do make it past the wild card round. But at this point, I don't know. I don't know if I would risk an injury, and yeah, I don't know if Green Bay is a good matchup for them, especially right now, because right now is if the Bears are the 3 seed, they'll play. Would they be playing the Rams?
So they will be likely playing. If they're the 3 seed, they'll play the Rams. Yes.
And the Rams are losing the Falcons right now, so I don't know. I mean, but the Rams have been really good all year. I don't know. Between Green Bay and the Rams, I don't know if there is a right choice. And Green Bay is they're a worse team than the Rams. It's just for some reason they have the Bears number every time.
It's a mental block, and I'll tell you this: I would much rather play either Seattle, Los Angeles, or San Francisco instead of Green Bay. And I know that might sound crazy, but mark my words: if the Bears play Green Bay in the first round, Green Bay's going to win.
Yeah.
It's a mental block. They cannot get over it. The Bears have not won a playoff game since 2010.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, it took a miracle for them to beat Green Bay 2 weeks ago, and I'm not sure how that's going to pan out if they face each other in the playoffs again. But what's funny is I think that any of the NFC West teams will beat Green Bay when the time comes. It's just Chicago, and I think Chicago can go toe to toe. Well, they just did. I think they can go toe to toe with any of these NFC West teams. It's just, yeah, it's something weird, something indescribable.
in division games, especially in division rivalry games, are just a different thing. And I don't think they'll get blown out by Green Bay, but I think Green Bay will beat them.
Yeah. Yep, could be. And then I'll flip it over to the Niners. A lot of people online, they're saying that people aren't giving the Niners enough credit for this, which is hilarious, right? Because we used to talk about this when the Bears used to upset somebody. It was always, what did the other team do wrong? And it's funny, the Niners beat the Bears in this game, and there's a lot of Niners fans that are complaining. They're like, why are people only talking about what went wrong for Chicago? How come they're not talking about us? And it's so backwards compared to what Bears games used to be. But I'll give them their credit. Brock Purdy opened up the game with a pick 6 and then rebounded by scoring 5 total touchdowns. He's a monster. Christian McCaffrey is a monster. Kyle Juszczyk scored a touchdown. The saddest I've ever been seeing a fullback score. Because I was banking on McCaffrey for fantasy. I was rooting for the Bears. You know, I don't know if I have the heart to give Juszczyk a fullback shout out this week. We'll see.
Didn't work out. Fullback whimper.
Yeah, but a lot of people are drawing comparisons to this game. The one that I think is honestly the most accurate was the comparison to the Rams-Chiefs game back in 2018, the 51-54 game. And I think there are a lot of comparisons that you can draw to that just in the players that were involved, right? Because Brock Purdy kind of is a little bit of a Jared Goff kind of player, and Caleb Williams coming into the league was always compared to Patrick Mahomes. So it's funny that it was those two QBs in that game, and then just a high-scoring game in prime time with a lot of fantasy implications online. So I think that was actually a pretty fair comparison. And then there are some people that are going a little bit further, and I don't really agree with this one, but there are people that are saying that this is the new Peyton Manning and Tom Brady because you've got a late-round draft pick versus a first overall pick. Obviously, Caleb Williams doesn't play anything like Peyton Manning. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Niners-Bears are about to start some type of rivalry over the next couple of years because Purdy and Caleb Williams aren't going anywhere, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, the Niners played pretty much a perfect game on offense other than the one pick 6. Like, what more could either of these offenses do? Yeah, that's it. Like,
yeah, no, as a Bears fan, I was encouraged with the performance. Because the fact is, last year we would have lost that game probably 40-7. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I don't think there's that many Bears fans that are hanging their heads over this. I really don't. I mean, they proved that they can go toe to toe, and that's the funny thing. That's the thing that that was something that I said on Twitter last night because I did see the typical, people just hating for the sake of hating. That are like, yep, see, I told you the Bears were frauds. I was like, because they lost on the last play of the game. They lost by 4 points to a team that people are thinking are gonna take the number 1 seed in the NFC. Like at this point, if you were calling the Bears a fraud, then you are clearly your opinion is invalid because you are clearly just hating for the sake of it.
Well, I mean, the Saints or the Rams lost last week against the Seahawks. They're frauds, right?
That's right. But literally what I said on Twitter last night was I said so the Bears have lost 2 out of their last 9 games, both by 1 score. And both to teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Both teams that have clinched playoff positions. It was the Packers and the Niners. And both games, not only were they 1 score, they came down to the last play of the game. It's over. You can't call the Bears frauds anymore. Even if they go 1-0 in the playoffs, you can't say they were frauds. They are clearly a good team. And
well, the Packers lost last week. They're frauds, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's how this works. The Packers have lost 3 straight. Packers are going to be 7th seed for the 3rd straight year. It's a good thing the NFL changed the rules in 2019.
Yeah, Stafford just threw his 3rd pick. He's a fraud.
Yeah, he's having a bad game, that's for sure. But yeah, no, you cannot call the Bears frauds anymore. And even if they go 1-0 in the playoffs, Bears fans are still going to be stoked. we're stoked. No one saw this coming. Their over under in the preseason. Their over under for wins total was 7.5. Let alone clinching their division and probably gonna get the 2 seed. But like we all say, we don't really want them to get the 2 seed. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a magical season, and I think, like, for me, the biggest fear is that this is the outlier year, right? This is the Matt Nagy 12-4 year where a lot of things go right for you, and you go on a run, and you are one and done in the playoffs. And that fear is there for me just because the amount of one-score games, right? Like, happened with the Chiefs last year and the Chiefs this year, right? When you win a whole bunch of games off of one score, and then the next year you're just on the other side of the coin, and all of a sudden you are eliminated from the playoffs. There is a fear there, but the difference is that the Bears aren't in cap casualty mode like the Chiefs were this year, and the Bears, they have a good shot at retaining all of the free agents that they should retain. And then they should be in a pretty good position to get some better talent in. I know the biggest rumor, and it is only a rumor, and I don't really see it happening. But right now, it's Max Crosby being allegedly upset with the Raiders shutting him down for the remainder of the season. And I don't think that they'll actually. I do think the Raiders could trade him. I just don't think it'll be to Chicago. And I don't really know if I want it to be to Chicago because it would kind of just it would put a bad taste in my mouth of the Khalil Mack trade. But that being said, the Bears pass rush is terrible right now, and they need to do something. I don't know if it's just going to be addressed in the draft or what they're going to do, but not being able to having Brock Purdy look like Lamar Jackson out there was kind of sickening. Purdy, I will say, he was shifty in the pocket yesterday, but it was insane. Bears would have 2 guys in the backfield, and they could not get to him. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you don't want to spend a bunch of money. You don't want to do what the Packers did and get Micah Parsons and spend all your money on him and then have him get hurt or whatever. You don't want that to happen, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, their biggest need definitely is pass rush. So they really could use a good defensive lineman, and they're just at a premium. They're really expensive. So
yeah, I mean, but it's important. It's what is it? The 4th highest paying position in the NFL? 3rd?
Oh yeah, and I say go all out, right? Go get Max Crosby, go get Myles Garrett, get Aaron Donald out of retirement. Just make an all-star defensive lineman.
Honestly, those are the 2 that every Bears fan wants right now. It's Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. Myles Garrett, I don't think he's leaving Cleveland. But honestly, I don't know who I would rather have between the 2. Max Crosby is a little bit younger, and his contract is a little bit more friendly. It's a little cheaper. But Myles Garrett he's an animal. Like, he's so good. And to be fair, Max Crosby is the only. To be fair, the Cleveland defense is actually pretty solid as a unit, and the Raiders have one good player on the entire team, and it's Max Crosby. So
yeah, no, what you do is you go get Max Crosby, you go get Trey Hendrickson because the Bengals can't afford him, so they spend all their money on advertising, and you go get Myles Garrett and give him 3 helmets, 2 for his hands. Nobody go.
Yeah, boy.
Gonna bust some nuts.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, they need to address pass rush. They need to address. What's funny is the secondary. Like, I actually think that the players in the secondary are decent. It's just they're not great in man coverage, but also when a quarterback has all day to throw, I mean, obviously the secondary is going to break down at some point. Like, it's just to be expected. So, yeah, I don't know what they need to do on that. I actually want to check the Falcons. Still 10-24. Looks like Falcons are going to kick a field goal. It's looking like the Falcons are going to win that game. That's crazy, but yeah, I mean, the future looks really bright for the Bears. Like I said, I think it was last week when we did this. So there is fear that this is going to be the one and done year for the Bears. That it was all just they truly were just really lucky, and now they're going to fall apart. But I think the thing about it is, and I said it last week, was 2018 Vic Fangio's defense covered up a lot of Matt Nagy's flaws as a coach. I don't think that Ben Johnson has these same type of flaws. What was very refreshing was in the press conference, Ben Johnson took accountability for the loss, talking about how he couldn't get the play call out in time, and then when Caleb Williams came up to the podium, Caleb Williams soaked up the blame, saying he didn't get everyone organized in time. So it's great to see a quarterback and a coach both soaking up the blame that was not really theirs. Because obviously, I mean, it's a little bit Ben Johnson, but really it's more like Dennis Allen is the defensive guy, right? Like when you have an offensive head coach, an offensive-minded head coach, the defensive coordinator is basically, like, they're basically coaching everything when it comes to defense. I don't think Ben Johnson has much to do with the defensive play calls. But yeah, like, the future looks really bright. It looks brighter than I think the Bears have ever been in my lifetime right now. I've never seen a Bears offense operate like this. I don't think anyone in the last, I don't know, probably mid-'80s was the last time people talked about a Bears offense that was actually going toe-to-toe with the best of them. It was always monsters of the Midway and defense this, defense that. So, yeah, I don't think any Bears fans are really hanging their head about it. And that's the funny thing is one comment I saw on the internet last night was, Bears fans are real quiet now. And then a bunch of people were replying just like, no, we're not. Like, we lost by one score on one play to a really good team. Like, who cares? And then there's always the quote that comes back. There's people saying, the Bears are who we thought they were. So then there are people replying that, and they're like, a good team? Like
nah, they're
what do you
frauds.
expect anymore? Yeah.
They're frauds.
I'm so sick of the fraud stuff. But the thing that really did get under my skin was the whole, on the last play, Caleb Williams could have done something. He could have thrown it 45 yards across his body to DJ Moore, or he could have thrown it to DeAndre Swift, and DeAndre Swift would have broken 8 tackles and gotten into the end zone. Like, no, that play was doomed from the start. Accept it. Niners defense stepped up big there. Bears blew it on that one. Like, move on. There was nothing there.
It was doomed from the start. They shouldn't have even snapped the ball. Just be like, we lose.
No, but that's not what I'm saying.
This play is doomed from the start.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't think a runoff happens if the clock isn't running. 4 seconds left. Like, take the delay of game.
You can't take a delay of game. Game over. We learned that with the Steelers game last week.
No, because the clock wouldn't have been running. I actually don't know if delay of game. I don't know if delay of game does a 10-second runoff in that scenario. I actually don't know. But if it doesn't, like, given
not if
how
not if the clock's not moving.
Right, that's what I thought. But so if Ben Johnson couldn't get the play call out, Caleb Williams couldn't get everyone organized at the line, and the receivers didn't know what they were doing, and the offensive line didn't know who to block, don't snap the ball. At that point, you know the ball is going in the end zone. You know it's a passing play. You know the ball is going in the end zone. Is 5 yards? Is a 5-yard penalty really that big a difference? If anything,
Luke,
you're giving your receivers a little bit more space.
If I've learned anything from the longest yard, it's when it seems like the play is not working, and that's when they trick snap it to Burt Reynolds and he runs it in for the touchdown.
Well, they tried that last week against Green Bay, and it didn't work.
Yeah, keep trying it until it works. There's more of a chance it'll work this week.
No, they'll do it in the wild card against Green Bay, and it won't work again. So, yeah. Nope. I mean, it was a good game. It was entertaining. It was weird as Bears fans to watch the Niners score that final touchdown and still have confidence that the Bears offense was going to take it down to the wire. And I mean, a lot of Bears fans thought they were going to score on that one. And I mean, given how the year has gone with one-score games, justifiably so. You're justified to have that hope. And honestly, Bears fans have been kind of spoiled. Like, they've been kind of spoiled this year to just expect that the Bears are going to pull out these last-second miraculous wins all the time. So, it didn't happen this time. And it didn't happen 2 weeks ago against Green Bay, And that's NFL football. Josh Allen didn't make a throw for a 2-point conversion. And they lost. And the Bills lose, and now the Patriots are AFC champions or AFC East champions. Like, you know, it's what happens in the NFL. So, yep. Ryan, thoughts on the game? Ryan cried
Nope.
himself to sleep last night.
Maybe a little bit, but
Ryan was just like, the Bears are frauds.
It was a very, I held my pillow close and found comfort in that. But I don't know why more people aren't talking about the drop passes to the end zone of not to the end zone, but on the last drive. What is it? Burden dropped
It
one.
was Burden's only drop of the game, to be fair.
Yeah, but if those drops don't happen, you probably have more time on the clock, less plays you have to run. They look like they were going to get out of bounds, so I don't know.
Yeah,
got enough trolls saying stuff that I think the Bears have done well. That just the defense needs to get a little better. So
yeah, yeah. One thing I do want to close on, and it's become kind of a trend to complain about Chris Collinsworth, but
we hate that guy.
There were some times where Caleb Williams did miss a throw, right? There was I can't remember who was it, Loveland running a slant earlier in the game, and Caleb just threw it wide out of bounds. And he was under pressure, but I think that one is one that he could make. He should be able to make. But then there were other ones that just weren't as fair. The one to Duvernay that probably would have been a touchdown if Caleb Williams can get him the ball. Collinsworth wanted to point that one out too. And it's, yeah, you're right. If they get Duvernay the ball, it's a touchdown. But also, when Duvernay gets into the window of being open, pause the clip and look at where Caleb Williams is. He's being rushed by two guys. He's got two defenders right in his face. It's really hard to get the ball to a receiver in that circumstance. So it's, some of these I feel like aren't fair. Caleb Williams, he has had some bad misses this year for sure. But some of those are unfair to look at a dude that's literally in the process of evading a sack. He's got two guys right in his face, and he can't make a throw and being like, oh, see, that's an easy one. It's like, yeah, it's an easy one from where the receiver is. It's not an easy one from where the QB is in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair because, he's the quarterback for a national football team. There's millions of people watching. There's a lot of pressure. You're right. He's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. But my favorite one was the biggest one, like, the biggest telltale is, like, tell me that you don't actually know how football works are the people that are trying to point out DJ Moore in the far right corner of the end zone. Man, like, he was wide open. It's like, yeah, you know why the defense isn't over there? Because they know no QB can make that throw. And then there was somebody on Twitter saying Josh Allen can, to which a lot of people were replying with, how'd that 2-point conversion go? Which is hilarious, but like
Brett Favre could have made the throw.
Yeah, an NFL field is 53 yards wide. DJ Moore being in the far right corner and Caleb Williams scrambling to the left, yeah, it's easily like 40 to 45 yards. And you're throwing across your body. By the time, and another thing to anyone that's trying to say, oh, well, he could have thrown it to DJ Moore there. First of all, not only is it probably an impossible pass, but the amount of time it would take for the ball to travel from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore in that time, it's enough time for one of the 49ers defenders, probably multiple, to make a play on that ball. They're going to have a whole lot of time to make a play on that ball once Caleb Williams releases that. So yes, no, like, you are the biggest casual fan in the world if you think that that's wide open and that's a play that can be made in the NFL. It's just not. So
no, he made the right throw. Somebody had to lose that game. That's what it comes down to. And at the end of the day, if Purdy was in the same situation, I don't know if he would have made any better decision, any better throw, right? It's just the situation that happens. So somebody had to lose it.
He wouldn't be in the situation because the Bears would let a receiver get wide open.
There you go.
Or they would let Brock Purdy rush it in for his third rushing touchdown of the game. But yeah. Now, Ryan, this is why I want to do this segment, because I knew that me talking about the Bears 49ers was going to take easily an hour, and I didn't want that to deter from the rest of the podcast for this week. So
I gotcha.
But yeah, so that's all I got going on with it. Anything to add about this week? It's I mean, at this point, I think it's fair to say that the Falcons have. What?
What was that, Luke?
What?
I couldn't quite hear you. Can you say that again?
Oh man, I wish I was streaming this game right now. What is happening?
The Rams are tied with the Falcons, is what's happening.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Yeah, Puka just got a touchdown, so.
I mean, Logan's still gonna lose, but
Overtime.
that's great. What was it the last time we went to it? Was it like 24 to 13? 10? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe the Bears should fear the Rams in the playoffs, but it's looking like the Falcons are gonna march. Well, I'm gonna end this so that I can actually go watch this game. So, all right, see you later.
See ya.